Let's dive in and talk about all the in-depth portions of TikTok SEO and components that can help you drive up your video reach, gain more followers, and really develop a niche community around your content. The main 6 components that make up TikTok SEO are hashtag, descriptions, titles, playlist, location tags, and subtitles, your audio and what you're saying in the video. Now, I actually just made a video about hashtags specifically that I'll link here, but to give you a summary of it, hashtags really are how TikTok categorizes your content. So if I'm making a video about best landscaping tips for summer, maybe it's the new season, I'm going to want to make sure to put hashtag landscaping tips, hashtag summer landscaping tips. And when it comes to hashtags, you really want to make it like a fire, like you're kindling a bonfire when you're camping, where you throw in a couple of little twigs and you use hashtags that have maybe 50 to 100 million views, but then you maybe throw one big one on there that has 1 billion views. Maybe it's just hashtag landscaping. That might be a little bit even too general. You'll have to play around with the hashtags, using different ones in different videos and seeing what kind of reach you get on each of them. Overall, with hashtags, max use like 5, and make sure that they relate to your video. Don't just waste a hashtag saying, for best landscaping tips for summer, don't just put hashtag summer. That is exactly how TikTok categorizes your content. So it might think, okay, this person said hashtag summer. I guess I'll serve this video to people who liked other videos that had a hashtag summer, but that's billions of videos and with billions of views, and the person that's looking for that isn't going to be looking for landscaping tips in particular. Key thing there. You want your hashtags to be associated with the key thing, the key value that you're providing in your video. Next, let's talk about descriptions. Your description is something you write that appears at the bottom of your video that should talk about your video. I honestly think compared to something like YouTube, TikTok descriptions aren't as important. I've made videos where in the description text itself, I haven't even put the keyword or phrase I was talking about, and those videos do really well reach-wise and are going to the right audiences. Whereas with YouTube, I think description is really important and you have to mention your keyword or phrase a couple times. It kind of weighs it more. With descriptions, I think you should honestly use a keyword or phrase when you can, if it makes sense. Again, don't try to force it, be conversational about it, but it's not absolutely needed. And maybe sometimes with descriptions, you might want to, instead of using a keyword or phrase, use that as an opportunity to ask your audience something, maybe prompt a question, maybe talk about it, or add some comedic addition to your video that people can kind of see after watching. You can have a little bit more freedom with your TikTok description and not weigh it as much in the SEO scheme of things. At least that's where it's at right now. This could change and I will plan to make more videos if it does. Now, titles on TikTok I think are very important. Equally, they're important on something like YouTube. Now with TikTok titles, you can add that in the same window that you're writing your description in. You just have to touch the small tab underneath their video screenshot in the right-hand corner of your video, and with that you can write out your own title for a video. Now the title should be directly related to the hashtags that you're using, and maybe it's the keyword or phrase that you're trying to talk about with the video. I would say in my experience, titles and hashtags are definitely weighed more in the TikTok SEO algorithm than descriptions are, so make sure your title does match the content. And honestly, people might be seeing this and it might one day be a situation where that's the way people are going to find you. They're going to search for something and they're going to see your title photo. So make sure it is exactly what your video is about and covers kind of why people should click on your video over someone else's. Another SEO feature that TikTok allows for, I believe you have to have a certain followership though before getting access to it, is playlist. Now, I've been doing certain testing where I add specific videos to a specific playlist that's related. For example, I make Michigan content, but under Michigan, there are Metro Detroit people, there are people that are in other places within Michigan. So I'll make video content that's maybe for everybody in the state versus I'll make content sometimes just for people in Metro Detroit. So I use that playlist to kind of differentiate my content and categorize it in a different way. Again, letting the algorithm know, hey, I have different, categories within my content. Don't just send this video to everyone in Michigan. Only send it to people that have maybe liked things that use hashtag Metro Detroit or hashtag Detroit in the video. But in my research of whether or not to add a video to a playlist, like add every video to a playlist and categorize every single video, the jury's still out. I honestly have found videos that I don't add to a playlist get way more views than videos I do, and I almost sometimes feel like adding to a playlist has hindered some videos. And maybe that will change. Maybe it's because that feature is not available to everybody, and TikTok's SEO is kind of in its infancy stage, I would say, more than something like YouTube's algorithm. It's getting there, it's learning. I can definitely see improvements happening as time goes on. But just know that right now, you don't absolutely have to have playlists, and don't feel like your content's gonna really suffer without them. I think that we're still in a stage where it's okay not to have them, but I think as time goes on, they'll become that much more important, and you're gonna wanna make sure to start categorizing some video content, because that again lets the TikTok algorithm know what your page is about and what kind of content you're making. Similar to playlists in their importance, I would say location is also an option that you can add now to videos. I've added Michigan as location to some. TikTok's prompted me to add location to videos I've already posted. So it clearly wants to get more into this localized approach. Again, things like location, playlist, they all help the algorithm serve a video to a specific person. Not necessarily, though, making sure that your video gets the most views. You can see how the balance kind of gets outdone there, where TikTok, I can't speak directly for the algorithm, but to me, you need to find that balance where I want to get the same amount of reach I'm used to getting, but also please the algorithm with some videos that are maybe super searchable. So if someone searches best things to do in Metro Detroit, my video comes up, and the TikTok algorithm likes that, because eventually TikTok does want to be like a search engine where it competes with something like YouTube. So know that, put some location on some videos, start teasing it in a little bit, test it out on some videos, and I think you'll start to see how it impacts your content and can kind of decide which videos to kind of put a location on or not put one on. Lastly, let's talk about subtitles. Subtitles, I would say, are just as important as things like hashtags and titles. I would say those are the top 3 important TikTok SEO things to always be considering, because what you say in a video, your audio that turns into subtitles that the TikTok algorithm reads on the back end, you're gonna wanna match that with your hashtags, what you're saying in your hashtags, maybe your description as an added bonus, plus your title. But title, hashtags, audio, subtitles. Do not forget to make sure that those 3 are connected and match the content and are geared toward a specific audience if you wanna see that mega reach and mega growth and maybe even go viral in a couple videos. SEO is something that I actually talk about in my TikTok crash course, where I kind of give anybody who's been maybe making videos for a while, or maybe someone just starting off, my best tips for how I grew to 100,000 followers in a year. I'm also going to be making more videos about TikTok, so you can subscribe to this channel to always get notifications when I launch those new ones for a kind of additional learning after you've taken the course. I really think that starting off with the course is the best route, because you learn the basics, and taking it can really help you understand the concepts I talk about in these videos a lot better. You'll start matching things a little bit more in your brain. You'll be like, oh yeah, that relates to what he talked about there, or what have you. Also, let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about this more in-depth look at TikTok SEO. Let me know if this type of video is something you like more than maybe my more quick videos that are more 3 to 5 minute. I really want to make sure I'm making content that is easy to absorb, but also is very impactful. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing day.